my father was a surgeon, and during medical school, I was looking forward to my rotation, month-long rotation in surgery, to finally learn what my father did all those days and as a doctor. And I was curious to see whether surgery might speak to me as well. But I'm going to tell you this story, not read it. So when you prepare to go into surgery, what you do is go into the locker room and remove your normal clothes and put on a green or blue scrub suit. Then you pull on little booties over your shoes and put on this little hat. Then you push your hair up under and walk into the scrub room. And in the scrub room, you spend the requisite number of minutes. I don't know what they are now, but they used to be 5 to 6 minutes, scrubbing with a bristle brush with antiseptic your hands and your forearms. Then you walk into the OR with your hands held up high in the air. You back through these swinging doors and turn around and walk into the OR, where the scrub nurses are waiting for you in their attire. And they come over and they hold up this long-sleeved OR gown that you put your hands in, and then they tie it behind your back, and then with your hands still held up in the air, they pull your sterile gloves down over your hands, getting all the fingers in the right holes miraculously, and snap them tight around your sleeves of the OR gown. So with mask and hat and booties and scrub suit and gown, you're ready to participate in surgery. So the first time I experienced this was really quite a thrill. There's a mystique about that, about going through this whole process. And then I walked up to the OR table, and the position I had been assigned was right opposite the operating surgeon. And the surgery being performed that day by him was open heart surgery. My role in the surgical procedure was to hold a retractor, which is a very elegant stainless steel instrument shaped like a very large spoon. And its purpose is to go around the open chest wall and rib cage, and my job was to tug on it to hold the muscles in the rib cage out of the way while the surgeon operated on the exposed chest cavity of this person. Well, what's that? Oh, we've heard enough. All right, plug your ears. Oh, all right, well, okay. So I'm standing there holding this instrument and trying to be as steady as I could possibly be while looking into this chest cavity where there was this big ruddy red heart going blub, 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 blub. And beside it were these two sort of paler, brownish, looked like sea sponges that were going lungs, and it was all glistening and gurgling in there, and right about a foot from my elbow was the man's head. And as I would glance from there to this open chest, which has got all the stuff in it that's inside every one of us, which we never think about, was his face peacefully lying there, looking like he was just having a very beautiful, peaceful sleep with a oxygen mask over his mouth. And as I stood there, looking back and forth between these two irreconcilable realities, I began to kind of feel like I was seeing everything from a further and further distance. And distance, my perspective got further and further away, and I realized that in the next minute, I was going to pass out. So I just meekly said, I think I'm going to faint. And the surgeon let out a growl, and he said, someone grab that retractor and get her out of here. So someone reached over, took the retractor from my arms, and I just sort of fell down onto the floor and proceeded to crawl on my hands and knees back out through the swinging doors that not long ago I had entered the OR in such an exalted way. So, anyways, that day I decided that I was not going to follow my father's and I eventually chose pediatrics as a much safer, kinder. I could hold my patients in my arms and I could love them as much as I wanted to, and no one would criticize me.